What lens are you using to look at life? There's a couple different ways I think that you can describe perspective, and I think one of the most amazing ways I've heard about it spoken recently is Trent Shelton. He talks about how everyone has a unique pair of prescriptions, right? Like, I got these spectacles, right? Like, these are mine, hey. And you can't just like borrow my glasses and expect to see out of them because it's mine, right? So I have my own way of looking at the world. And before, when I was in the negative cycle, the way I would look at it was through the lens of like, I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy enough. I'm not enough, right? Like, I'm not loved. Like, I'm never gonna be loved. Like, is this really the best that I deserve to have? This like toxic, abusive relationship where, you know, the biggest faults I ever had were constantly thrown at me when I was asking for like pretty fair improvement for the situation that I was in, right? And that's different, right? Like when you're in those types of perspectives, it's hard not to see any self love. Like you don't understand that you even don't love yourself. Like I didn't realize that. I just thought that I was supposed to not like myself and then I wasn't supposed to think I'm pretty or think I deserved something better than what I was living, because like that's all I needed, right? But like that's just a perspective because the reality is that we all deserve to have love and honest communication. And sometimes when we don't have that, it's like you can't feel safe. And that's not what it's supposed to be like. Love isn't supposed to feel unsafe, right? Like, you shouldn't feel safe with yourself as well. And sometimes we get stuck and lost in this perspective that we can't even trust ourselves because I you get lost. You get lost in the darkness calls so often. At least sometimes it did to me. And maybe that's a new perspective I have now, right? Is that like all this hatred and shame and criticism and negative ways to like tear each other down and to hurt other people, like that's the darkness winning, you guys. Like that's the the evil like winning, making us believe that we are unworthy and that we are unloved. And I've been there. I've been on that side. I've been living through my own hells. And I'm so thankful that I'm finally moving out of those hells by breaking out of that negative cycle, right? Like, what negative cycle is it that you're going through? Because the chances are of you being completely alone isn't true because I used to think that. I used to think that I was alone because I was trapped in these negative mind spirals of unworthiness and not expecting life to get any better. But that's not the truth. The truth is that I'm not individually unique when it comes to that because I'm human and you're human. And a lot of us humans experience this kind of hell in our minds where we overthink things and we get trapped in the past or these situations that we're not allowed to control because we can't control them, which like who can control everything? No one. It's okay and that's totally okay, right? Like it's about being okay and learning those lessons that we need to so that we can stop hyper focusing on something and learning how to be present and learning how to be in the moment and living our best life because I know when I'm looking at the perspective behind me, I'm missing out on all the beautiful, amazing, and joyful life and creation that there is around me right now. And that's like living in survival mode. I don't know if you guys have heard that of like the whole survival mode versus creation mode, but boy, survival mode sucks. It's like bleak and dark and lugubrious, and it's like no sun comes out, and you just see different shades of gray. Like, that's how I feel. And then there's a lot of anger and resentment and frustration. But, like, when you're living a life of creation, like, it feels so alive and connected and abundant and joyful and like passion that just is through you and flowing through you. And it's like why wouldn't you want to live there? Why wouldn't you want to figure out how to change your perspective from being stuck in the negative toxic cycle of the darkness that constantly calls versus being in that abundant, alive, connected feeling, that vibration, that energy shift where things are just feeling so connected and alive. Like, I don't know if you guys understand me, and if you don't, then we got work to do. You got work to do, my friend, because it's true. Being human is so hard, and that's a perspective of life that's so real. Whenever we're in those moments of darkness, like, that isn't only a perspective. It's actually what we're going through. It's what we're living. It's what we're experiencing on this plane of existence. Like, if it feels miserable and it feels like misery and agony and like you're in hell, then I hate to break it to you, but you might be in hell. And I know, because I was there too. And I didn't realize it. I didn't realize that I was in hell. And no wonder it feels freaking miserable. And I commend you. And I want you to take a breather and just pat yourself on the back, because you're here. And you're loved. And you deserve to live a good life. And you deserve to have days full of love and abundance and joy. People want to say it's normal to have that kind of life. It's not normal, okay? I'm just gonna throw it out there into the universe that it is not normal. You are living in an altered state of consciousness, and it is not a good state of consciousness. So, if you, my friend, feel like any of those things on a constant basis, then just know you're not alone, and that you're able to do something like that. You're able to get out of that toxic hell. You're able to figure out how to work through those problems. And sometimes that means you gotta seek resources, like sometimes we need more help than we understand we need, than we even get it. Like, I've been there. I'm in therapy. Therapy's good, seek that out. But the point is that we're all loved, and that we all are worthy, and we are all valuable and matter in this world. And if we don't believe that, then we need to understand that we're living in an altered state of perception, and that's in the negative one. And my friend, I'm here to tell you that whatever it is in that negative world that's keeping you there, what can you do about it? Like, I know if I'm doing things I shouldn't be doing, then yeah, I get stuck there. I get feeling bad because I'm doing things I know morally I shouldn't be doing. Cut that out. Cut it out, and believe in yourself that you deserve and that you can do good things. And when you start living an intentional life, you can really truly enjoy those present moments. Like, sometimes it's so crazy, the joy and the happiness and the aliveness that I feel, because it's like, it just feels surreal. Like, it's not even like, I don't even know how to explain it really right now, because it's still just kind of new to me too. Like, I've been there in that hell for so long that now it's like, wow, I don't ever want to go back there. And it's possible. Like, if I can do that, if I've been depressed like so many times in my life, and I can come back and be like, I don't really feel like super depressed anymore, like, something's got to be working. And I have no one else to thank besides the creator that has helped me get through this and learn and understand these things within me and around us and the universe, that it's like, how can I just be quiet about it, right? Like, these things that I'm saying about us deserving and loving, to like deserving to be of love and to be loved, well, it's a perspective that's true. It's the good one. It's the good truth. And it's the word of our creator, like I said, those other things, that's a lie. And if the lies can penetrate us so deeply to believe that we don't matter and to believe we're unworthy, then that's why I'm telling you that the darkness is winning. And I don't believe that. I'm not here for that. I'm here to be a light in this darkness and to remind you how loved you are and how amazing you are and how much you are worthy of living a good life. And what is it that you're going to bring to this world? Because we are all here for a reason. And it's more than what you're allowing yourself to be right now. Because I know when I was living in that darkness, when I didn't believe in that, there was no mission to inspire self love. The mission was to survive the day, to go to work and to cook, clean, change diapers, be in a miserable marriage where I didn't even feel connected and I felt like I was dying, miserable, resentful, looking for an escape to that misery. Yeah, that's what happens. You just get stuck in that cycle. So, nope, not anymore. Now, my friends, it's time to inspire self-love because this world needs more of you. And that looks different for all of us. This is what it looks like for me, is inspired self-love, guys. I love you. You're amazing. You're beautiful. You're worthy. You are full of love. You are able to receive love. And you deserve love. You deserve to love yourself for the person that you are. And, you know, sometimes we don't always love the parts of us that are bad, but the good parts of us, it's time to remember those good parts and fall in love with that part again and grow those parts instead of the bad parts, because I'm guilty of growing the bad parts. Sometimes you got to do that work. And I promise you it's worth it. You can do it. I believe in you. Bye. Beautiful Sunday.